What is going on, everyone? And welcome into NHL Best Bets for June 17th, presented by the Odd Shoppers. I'm Gator Betting, joined by my two co-hosts today. We got Franco the Banker and Gretzky Betskis. We're here to break down our favorite player props for Stanley Cup Game 6. Whether you're looking for player props, money lines, or totals, we've got you covered. Also, don't forget to check us out on the Odd Shoppers Tails Network, where we're dropping all of our early plays and giving our subscribers a chance to grab the best lines before they move. You can use promo code PUCKS for 50% off your first month. The link for our Tails profile will be in the description below for anyone who wants to check that out. Later in the show, we'll also be using the Portfolio EV tool from the Odd Shoppers to identify our top plus EV plays of the night. We're pumped to have you with us, so let's get into our best bets of the night. The NHL season is on the ropes tonight with the Florida Panthers able to win the Stanley Cup tonight in Game 6. Franco, let's have you start us off here. What are you looking at for tonight?
So I'm a little up and down on the side here tonight. I think we've seen a lot of weird stuff as far as Florida's closeout performances at home. So I'm going to kind of stay away. I think a safer way to kind of back Florida here tonight is to take a little parlay here. So if you grab their first period team total over a half, so them to score one goal in the first period, and parlay that with them for their team total for the full game at 2.5, you can get that at FanDuel right now at minus 127. Feels like a pretty good price considering the Florida money line is heavily juiced. And I feel like if they're going to win this game, they're probably going to score in the first period, and they're probably going to score more than 3 goals. So it's essentially a Florida money line bet without having to bet the money line, just in case Edmonton does come out, have a great game. You could see a game where maybe we could go to overtime again. Who knows? There's been plenty of those this series. So give me that with a little bit of protection.
Awesome. I like that bet a lot. Betsky, what are you looking at for tonight?
Well, we're going to go Ice Cats for my play. I did pull the shirt out of the dirty laundry this morning to make sure I could wear it one last time. I'm going to have to try to do a little quick wash because it does stink. Anyways, we're going to go right back to that third line. Marchand and Lundell have been an absolute force. We all know this, but at home, Lundell has really been great with his shots on goal. His 1.5 is like minus 190. Marchand's is like in minus 200 area. But if you smash both of them to have 2 shots together, you're getting that around minus 105 on DraftKings. Great value there. Just two players that are getting a lot more open ice and mismatches, and they've been taking advantage of that, especially at home where they get first change. So let's just tip our caps right back down to that third line.
Yeah, I like that bet as well. I'm going to go with Corey Perry, 2+ shots on goal tonight, minus 130 on FanDuel. It is a 60-minute line, but like we said before, once we get into that 3 shots on goal range, you're kind of a little bit hesitant to limit yourself on FanDuel. But with only needing 2 shots tonight, I'm more than happy to take that bet. It's minus 130 on FanDuel, minus 148 for the full game on DraftKings, if that's kind of how you want to go to play it a little bit safer. But Corey Perry has been unbelievable this series. He's hit this mark in each of the last 5 games. And then even before that, in the Dallas series, he hit in those 2 games prior. We talked about it before, too. The majority of his chances are coming from in front of the net. So he doesn't even get the opportunity to miss the net most of the times, which is perfect for him. Especially tonight, too. His shot attempts have been there as well in the last 4 games, 5, 4, 6, 10. So he's shooting, and we're getting it at a bettable number tonight for only 2 shots on goal. So I'm going to keep rolling with Corey Perry. Give me that 2+ shots on goal at minus 130 on FanDuel. Betsky, any other picks? It's could be the last game of the season, so we got to give out a bunch of plays tonight. What else are you looking at?
Well, we were talking about before. I think this feels right for a McDavid bounce back. I mean, he did have that goal last game. We haven't seen him with more than 1 point since those initial games at home. I was kind of heavy on him, thinking that we were going to get a big bounce back performance at home last game. Unfortunately, that was not the case, but I can foresee that happening tonight.
Yeah, Betsky, I love that McDavid play. And I think this has to be a McDavid masterclass tonight if Edmonton has any chance to come back in this series. We saw in games 1 and 2, he hit his shots on goal mark. He hit his points mark. He hasn't hit either since then. Well, he hit his shots in game 4, but that was the only time he's really covered that points or shots on goal line. I love both tonight. I'm taking his 3.5 shots on goal tonight at plus 105 on DraftKings, and I'm also taking his 2+ points tonight. Whether he turns into a playmaker and hits his points mark through 2 assists, or he just turns into a shots on goal demon and cashes that 4+ mark, I think either or even both. I think both can happen tonight. So I'm all in on McDavid tonight. Give me his 4+ shots on goal and give me his 2+ points.
Yeah, I hope he's watching that video of him dropping a bunch of F-bombs at the team to get pumped up again before the game.
Oh, the Amazon series, yeah. Him in the locker room after.
Yeah, it's like, look how mean I can be. Look how fiery I can be.
I love it. Franco, any other bets for tonight?
Yeah, Betsky mentioned the Marchand line being productive, super productive this series. I don't see any reason why you don't go back to his point prop. It's bettable once again at minus 113 on FanDuel. Just at this point feels like an auto bet just to take him. He's playing on the second power play, which gives him a little bit more reason to take him over his line mates who don't get power play time. But I don't mind stacking him with Lundell again and probably doing the full line stack as well. That'll be a sprinkle. But main play, again, is just how good Marchand has been. He's been such a difference maker in the series. And if he manages to get another goal in this game, I think he will have 7 for this series, which is pretty damn impressive. They were talking about during the broadcast, I think he was the last guy since Esa Tikkanen to get 6 in one series. So he's going for a little bit of history here and to kind of stamp his name on historic Stanley Cup run. So I think he has every reason to continue his form.
Plus, he
feels like we've talked about. Yeah, he is. It feels like we've talked about the Conn Smythe market, and I think every episode so far. So Sam Bennett's the current leader at minus 150. Brad Marchand plus 370, 2 points behind Sam Bennett. If he ties him tonight, he has the advantage of game-winning goals. Is Brad Marchand worth the sprinkle for Conn Smythe for one last dart in this market where it seems like we have everyone else?
Yes, absolutely. I still love the value there. I don't know. I'll put a tinfoil hat on and say the books are trying to bait you to get Bennett still or believe that he's the leader, so you're not betting on anybody else. But Marchand's going to be a Hall of Famer. And this is putting such a nice little tidy bow on his career where he a rookie against Vancouver where he won the cup.
Yep.
Granted, he's not retiring, but he's probably going to kind of become somewhat of a hired gun now. But we were talking about this before the show. Does Florida get through Toronto without Marchand on the team? I'm not convinced. Take that third line scoring and slash it in half, because that's what that production would have looked like if, who used to be up there? I mean, they may have had Samoshkevich instead of Marchand on that third line, like a rookie. It's just the difference he has made, and especially with the Barkov line being more of a shutdown line in this series, especially Barkov himself. You got to think that he is a big, maybe the largest factor of why this team is at Game 6 and potentially hoisting the cup again tonight.
Yeah. I mean, Seth Jones was even terrific in that series. He hasn't necessarily been the same player in the Stanley Cup Finals, but he was also terrific. And I can't wait to see Brad Marchand kind of go into that Hall of Fame induction in his Florida Panthers uniform. It's going to be really awesome to see. So
they don't have $14 million in cap space, buddy. It's going to be a mammoth.
He could take a pay cut, man. I mean, you ride out the sunset in Florida as opposed to living in
a lot warmer,
snowy Boston. I'm
sure
they want Bennett back, so
it's true. All right, now that we've given out our top plays, it's time to dive into the Portfolio EV tool from the Odd Shoppers. Before we do that, just a quick reminder, you can use promo code NHLBETS for 50% off your first month. All right, getting into the Portfolio EV tool play of the day, Franco. There's an assist market on the tool today that I think tickles your fancy. So why don't you get into one of our plays of the day?
Yeah, we already kind of talked about liking that third line, liking Marchand to get continue his hot streak, and a guy that's on the ice with him quite frequently is Anton Lundell. He had an assist that last game. EV Tools highlighting it as a nice value at a plus 250 odds compared to a true value of plus 229. So it's one of the higher odd shopper, EV Tool highlights today. So I like it. I like him to continue his hot streak along with Marchand. So I don't mind taking this assist prop tonight, and it's a nice big plus number. So plus 250 feels like a nice sprinkle to take.
Yeah, I like that play a lot. The other one that I like too is Gustav Forsling, under 1.5 shots on goal. I think the assignment's pretty clear for most of the Florida defensemen tonight, which is defense first. I'm not too sure that they're really going to be focused on generating chances offensively. We've kind of seen that transition from Forsling too in the last few games, where he had no shots on goal in Game 5 and only 1 in Game 4. He's only hit this prop in 2 games this series, so I think that theme kind of continues through Game 6 here with Florida looking to close it out. So I like Forsling at under 1.5 shots on goal. Anything else to add here before we get into wrap up the show?
Let's just get a Game 7. This has been too fun.
That's true. Yeah, I would love to
go. Yes.
All right, that's going to wrap up today's episode of NHL Best Bets presented by the Odd Shoppers. As always, you can use promo code NHL Bets for 50% off this Portfolio EV tool. Also, check us out on the Odd Shoppers Tails Network, where you can use promo code PUCKS for 50% off your first month. Both of those links will be in the description of this video. We appreciate you guys for tuning in, and this could be the last one, but hopefully not. Hopefully we see you guys Friday.